but it's not much hotter and much brighter. Ireland, who finished 6th at last year's World Championships, and they have youth on their side. 9 of the squad of 14 players are 21 or under. So they should have plenty of energy, and they might need it if Ukraine pass the ball around, as we know they can. Brazil beating Great Britain in the opening match in Pool A by 2-1. A terrifically competitive match that could have swung back Great Britain's way. Brazil had been 2 goals up at half-time. But here come the teams for the second match in Pool A. So Ukraine, the European champions, looking to win back the Paralympic title that they lost to Russia in London 4 years ago. For Ireland, well, they're hoping to make a successful return to the Games after failing to qualify for London 2012. There are medals in 7-a-side football in Ireland's past. They were finalists in the very first competition in 1984 and won bronze in 88 and 92. But teams like Ukraine, who are full-time athletes, have overtaken them in recent years, and this will be a good benchmark for the Irish to see how close to the top they are at these games. Ukraine with huge experience and an average age in their starting 7 of over 32. Ireland's average age is much lower, under 24, so a significant difference between the two sides. Here are the anthems.
Gentlemen, the anthem of Ukraine.
Senhoras e senhores, o hino da Ucrânia.
Ukraine led by Volodymyr Antoniuk at his 4th Paralympic Games.
Ladies and gentlemen, the anthem of Ireland.
Senhoras e senhores, o hino da Irlanda.
Coach Gerard Glynn
A great reception of both anthems.
applauding the Irish national anthem.
Match number 2 today.
For 5 of their starting 7, the Irish, this will be their Paralympic Games debut, just underlining that gap in experience between the two teams. But there is a point at which an experienced team becomes an aging side. And we'll see at these games if Ukraine are going to fall into that category. Luke Evans is captaining Ireland. He was in Beijing 8 years ago at the age of 18. He's 26 now. "11 years younger than ANTONIUK on the left. Alexander Santos from Brazil takes charge. And there's the Ukraine starting seven, 4 of whom have Paralympic gold medals from previous games, including goalkeeper SYMASHKO, who's 35 at his 3rd games, and Taras DUTKO, the number 4, who has been in every Paralympic tournament since Sydney in 2000. Irish side just going through 1 or 2 last-minute warming-up exercises to get themselves fully pumped up for the occasion. Luke Evans, the captain, but Gary Messett, the number 7, has the most experience. These are his 3rd Paralympic Games, and he's often the driving force for the Irish side. Made his debut, his international debut at the Athens Games against Ukraine, a match which ended with a 6-0 victory for Ukraine. How much closer than that can Ireland get today? Can they trouble the silver medalists from London 2012? Fearing the worst perhaps, but hoping for the best. Gerard Glynn. For Ukraine, Serhii OVCHARENKO. There's only one medal his team wants, and that's the gold.
So let's make some noise and get right behind these sides. Who's here shouting for Ukraine? Let me hear you, Ireland! Are you ready, Rio, to get this game underway? All together from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's play!
Well, the only team that's ever beaten Ukraine at the Paralympic Games is Russia, and they're not here. So what chance the rest? We are about to find out, with Ireland the first to try their luck against the 2-times champions. It's Ukraine in the yellow who are instantly moving forward. For Ireland, surely it's about keeping it as close as possible for as long as possible. And hoping maybe that the youth they have and the extra energy might tell in the closing stages, but Ukraine is such a skillful side. And they've worked some space for Taras DUTKO. Still Ireland can't get it away. KRASYLNYKOV looking back in towards MOLODTSOV. Wasn't an obvious outball for the Irish, back defending on block immediately. And one wonders how much of a sign of things to come that opening minute will be. Goalkeeper Tier had come out to clear it. It was as well that Luke Evans was on hand to tidy things up for the Irish. Turned by Ryan Nolan. Here's Gary Messett. Evans' pass easily picked off by DUTKO. Carl McKee, 18-year-old with a good challenge. And the vastly more experienced Antoniuk. That might give him some confidence. Nolan again, holding it up neatly for MESSETT. Well, if the first minute was shaky for the Irish, the second minute considerably better. Throw-in's been left for the captain Evans to take. And Nolan just leaning in illegally on Vitaliy TRYSHEV. Well, he's another one of the Ukrainian players with vast experience, playing in his 4th games. No offside in Paralympic 7-a-side football, so the pitch, which is pretty large for 7-a-side game, is often stretched. There's often space, and there's space here immediately for ROMANCHUK. It's really well tackled. Taras DUTKO looking for the 1-2. Antoniuk, KRASYLNYKOV. Lovely little feint, and referee calls goal kick. As ROMANCHUK tried to find some space in the Irish penalty box. Pressure on the goalkeeper, Aaron Tier. Took an extra touch, but he's been confident with the ball at feet so far. Here's TRYSHEV. KRASYLNYKOV turned, but turned into the defender. It's clear that when Ireland are going to defend, they are going to defend on block. 2 banks of 3, get everybody behind the ball. ROMANCHUK getting round the back, and Nolan having to help out. And now MESSETT with an important challenge as well. And that came back off KRASYLNYKOV, so another Irish goal kick. MESSETT clipping the ball in. He's looking for Connor Chu to his forward. Now Evans. And Tier's long ball might be useful here for Ireland. Ryan Nolan, shoot with him. Shot almost became a pass, but Antoniuk was back for Ukraine. Half an hour each way, these 7-a-side matches. plenty long enough when, again, the pitch is so wide, 50 metres, 70 metres or thereabouts in length. Bit of a cooling breeze out there as well, which the Irish players will be grateful for. Doubtless the Ukrainians too. Dutko has found KRASYLNYKOV, and he's drifting from side to side. Here's TRYSHEV, now Dutko again. TRYSHEV, oh, it's beautifully played in. Romanchuk was allowed to get the layoff. And that's the closest either side have come. MOLODTSOV driving in the shot and narrowly missing the target. But the danger all came when the ball was played into Romanchuk's feet in the penalty box. Nolan penalised. It might have been a little bit unfortunate. MESSETT battling with ANTONIUK, and he's got the better of him. Chance for a quick counter for Ukraine. They've given it away, and it's 3-on-2. And KRASYLNYKOV, and still, that's a let-off for Ireland. First really clear chance of the game. And you can see KRASYLNYKOV hugely disappointed when it came back to him, he couldn't hit the target. Unselfish to begin with. It's a poor clearance, and KRASYLNYKOV might benefit again. The goalkeeper's really struggling. And KRASYLNYKOV misses a golden chance for the second time in 30 seconds. The Irish goalkeeper, Aaron Tier, will be hugely relieved. Serhii OVCHARENKO, the Ukrainian coach, not in forgiving mood. He feels, I'm sure, that his side should be a goal to the good. Dutko with the ball forward. Romanchuk laying it off neatly. It almost came for KRASYLNYKOV. Now it will. And Romanchuk again. Getting hold of the ball in the penalty area. Just no out ball for the Irish, who just can only thump it into Ukrainian territory. Feels like a Ukraine goal is coming. Dutko, Romanchuk again, back to goal in the penalty box. Tees up MOLODTSOV. And the deflection could easily have taken it between the posts. And he's starting to get the look of a worried man, Gerard Glynn. Quite understandably. Here's Dutko. TRYSHEV. Romanchuk! Saw the angle beautifully. Deceived the goalkeeper and puts the world #1 side in front. A goal that had been coming. Maybe they feel there should have been more. For the first goal for Ukraine in these games, and a gap at the near post which might disappoint Aaron Tier. ruthlessly exploited by Romanchuk. Bit of space for Evans, who's got the ball under control and found Connor Tute. TRYSHEV had to come crashing across. Irish supporters perhaps fearing the worst a little bit after that good Ukrainian spell. MESSETT not finding his range from the corner. Out it comes to the goal scorer, Romanchuk. And he's escaped both challenges. And still he goes on. They almost teed him up. But as it was, he's gone down looking hurt, Romanchuk. It will be an Ireland free kick. He won two 50-50s initially. Just got caught by Carl McKee, who slid in fairly enough, I think. There's the goal, with Tyr just expecting the ball across the goal area. Romanchuk was wise enough to find the gap. Collision off the ball between KRASYLNYKOV and MESSETT. And it goes towards Nolan, the layoff towards Tute. Very neatly played out by SYMASHKO, who didn't show any anxiety when given what could have been an awkward ball. This is Romanchuk. Now DUTKO. MOLODTSOV. And KRASYLNYKOV and DUTKO. And just moved the ball so neatly, MOLODTSOV. The Irish team basically defending the edge of their penalty area. KRASYLNYKOV hit it, McKee was the blocker. Antoniuk. Well, they're well on top. They don't look as happy as they might be. The Irish bench know it could have been far worse by now. MESSETT ran into trouble. Antoniuk finds Romanchuk. That's beautifully picked out, and KRASYLNYKOV, they're going to pass it in. It's a splendid goal. Captain Antoniuk finishes it off, and that's got them smiling on the Ukraine bench. Just delightfully worked, and nothing Tyr could do. Romanchuk waited, picked the pass, the dummy by Antoniuk, it came back to him. There's the value of experience, the value of playing together for years and years. It's a terrific goal. There goes the Ukraine captain again. They do look in the mood, don't they, Ukraine? Big favourites for the gold medal, starting with real intent here. But Evans with the interception for Ireland. And his run being tracked all the way by Vitaliy TRYSHEV. Neatly played again by Romanchuk. seems to pick the right pass 9 times out of 10. MOLODTSOV, Antoniuk, 3-0. 3-0 Ukraine. Less than 17 minutes gone, and all of a sudden, Ireland in danger of conceding a hatful. Ruthlessly taken, and right into the top corner from the Ukraine captain. Two goals in just over a minute from Volodymyr Antoniuk. Well, something of a crushing experience for Ireland in the last 5 or 6 minutes. And a real test of character for them now. Two clinical finishes from that man. Up to Ryan Nolan. Now MESSETT. Nolan pulling away in the centre. MESSETT getting past one but not a second defender. And Antoniuk swiftly finding ROMANCHUK. And ROMANCHUK is testing them for pace. And back it goes to KRASYLNYKOV and then MOLODTSOV, and Tia grateful to get his hands on it. Just seldom looks like there's an obvious option forward for Ireland. Ukraine have got the angles covered. Tia found himself struggling for a moment. McKee with the ball away, but it's going to end up at a yellow shirt again. And Luke Evans is going to be penalised. He was trying to get out the way, I think that's what he's saying to the referee, but KRASYLNYKOV had turned away. Well, is KRASYLNYKOV really going to hit it? Or have they got something else up their sleeves? DUTKO is there too, the number 4. It's KRASYLNYKOV. Lovely ball for TRYSHEV. Starting to have the feel of a Ukraine masterclass, this. Here's MOLODTSOV, beautifully done. TRYSHEV, DUTKO, space out wide, but he looked for the shot instead. Now quick to the second balls as well, Ukraine. No let up for the Irish. Antoniuk, KRASYLNYKOV. Just got caught, was looking for a foul, his boots come off. There's the case for the prosecution anyway. It's going to be a Ukraine throw-in. Here's the challenge on KRASYLNYKOV. In fact, there's the goal from Antoniuk. And then the second from the Ukraine captain to make it 3-0. He had a purple patch lasting about 90 seconds in which he got those 2 goals. And that man's mood improved significantly. Gerard Glynn in the centre there. Rather concerned. They knew the Irish, it was going to be tough, this group, with Brazil and Great Britain in the pool as well. Team manager Barry Ferguson said they were expecting 3 of the hardest games they'll ever have. I think this is probably the hardest of the 3. It's going to be a Ukraine corner unless Markey got there. He did. Here's Antoniuk, back to MOLODTSOV. They're a proper team, aren't they, Ukraine? DUTKO. Taras DUTKO's in the class 8. That's the least impaired of the 4 categories that are used in 7-a-side Paralympic football. Players with cerebral palsy, some have had a stroke or a brain injury. Aaron Tier, the Irish goalkeeper's class 5, the most impaired of the 4 categories, and you have to have a 5 or a 6 on the field at all times, but only a maximum of 1/8 at any one time. Here's Romanchuk. Antoniuk. KRASYLNYKOV. Just great rotation and great circulation of the ball from Ukraine. The movement is so good. They're all comfortable on it in all areas of the field. KRASYLNYKOV. Swivel of the hips. TRYSHEV. Now DUTKO, just manoeuvring the Irish around. That's a lovely pass, disguise on it, right into the centre. And Tier had lost the ball completely and was grateful to Carl McKee. The trouble for Ireland is that Ukraine really are starting to enjoy themselves. TRYSHEV, space, thought about the shot. Can't be that much fun for the Irish right now. Beautifully done by KRASYLNYKOV with TRYSHEV. Now Antoniuk. And MOLODTSOV. Lovely dummy, and then the pass. Oh, and Tier did well initially. And again, got great help on the goal line from Ryan Nolan, who's right back there. Nolan would rather be getting the ball in the opposition penalty area, but he had to be alert there. It was spinning towards the line. And they're finding the angles, Ukraine, to get the ball into the feet of Romanchuk right in the middle of the penalty area. And from there, Ireland are in all kinds of trouble. DUTKO. And MOLODTSOV. Well, the Irish will take it. 5 minutes to half-time, and it's still 3-0. 8 minutes without a Ukraine goal, but swift feet of DUTKO. Trying to pick out Romanchuk initially. Excellent header from DUTKO. Well, that tells the story. Ukraine is so far on top, and here's MOLODTSOV. He's done that beautifully. Romanchuk's got 1 goal, and he was looking for a second. Desperation stakes from Ireland. Oh! And an absolute thumper from KRASYLNYKOV to make it 4-0. Well, now they really are enjoying themselves. That was a rocket from Artem KRASYLNYKOV. You won't see a cleaner strike. The Irish defence off balance several times before it came out. I'll pick that out. Every touch is wrong-footing a defender. And then the finish. Yeah, well worth seeing again and again. Artem reacted, tried to get the left hand up, but it was through his fingers really before he could get a solid hand in the way. MESSETT with the corner for Ireland. And a little nudge in the back. Luke Evans penalised. Well, they're battling for it. I'm not sure KRASYLNYKOV was complaining too much. And the most obvious movement was from Evans, the arms onto the back. ROMANCHUK is so evasive with the ball. What a terrific first half display this has been from Ukraine. There must be even stronger favourites for the gold medal now. And for Brazil and Great Britain in this pool, perhaps you'd advise them not to watch too much. DUTKO just losing it to MESSETT. I'd be grateful for the refuge of the dressing room at half-time, the Irish. Tough old first half. First goal came in the 12th minute, then two more in quick succession from the captain ANTONIUK to make it 3-0 after 17, and a fourth then from KRASYLNYKOV. And Ireland haven't really had a clear-cut chance of their own. Ukraine starting out in determined fashion as they look to win back the Paralympic title. Russia edged them out in the final 4 years ago. A rare poor touch by TRYSHEV. Well, these teams met in the quarterfinals of the World Championship last year, and the final score on that occasion was 4-0 to Ukraine. Again, ANTONIUK scored twice. It was 3-0 at half-time. The way Ukraine are playing, they will expect to score several more, you'd think, in the second half here. Here's Nolan. Well, it's a useful run, this. TRYSHEV just about stuck with him. Ryan Nolan, the number 9 for Ireland, has been useful. Get the ball up to him, and he's used his bulk well to shield the ball and has often turned, as he did there. MESSETT's corner, SYMASHKO's coming. Ooh, took the ball and clattered into his own defender. It's the last and rather painful act of the first half for the Ukraine goalkeeper, who's not really been too much troubled in the first half an hour. And indeed, the Ukraine team largely untroubled as a whole. They have been terrific in this first half. Goals from ROMANCHUK, 2 from ANTONIUK, the captain, and then a thumper from Artem KRASYLNYKOV. And Ireland fearing that it could get worse in the second half. Half-time score, Ukraine 4, Ireland 0. Yes, don't they look a fine side, Ukraine? We were expecting it. Their record suggests that they would be this good, and they have delivered. 19 efforts on goal in the first half, 7 of those on target, and 4 times the ball whistled past Artem in the Irish goal. The Irish possession has been mostly in their own half, and mostly with Ukrainian players bearing down upon them. It has seldom been comfortable for the men in green. Ukraine do look worthy favourites for this title. And when we see the first half highlights, we'll get a pleasant reminder of some of their terrific skill, the passing ability, the swift interchange of possession and movement, and the confusion that has caused in the Irish defence. And the clinical finishing too, which has been something to behold. And no strangers, Ukraine's are rattling up big scores. Got into double figures against Japan in the World Championships last year. One wonders if they're in the mood to do something similar again today, because I think it's possible. Tough team talk for Gerard Glynn at half-time, that's for sure. Here are the best moments of the first half. Here's Romanchuk rather, spotting a gap at the near post. I guess that was the disappointing thing for Ireland, that Aaron Tier was beaten in that area. But again, it was the deception of Romanchuk. Then Antoniuk started to get involved. This goal was a beauty. The dummy and then the finish was terrific from the Ukraine skipper. And he wasn't finished there. MOLODTSOV linking the play intelligently and into the near top corner from the Ukraine skipper. Fourth goal was perhaps the best of the bunch. That was the second again from Antoniuk. But look out for this hit from Artem KRASYLNYKOV. There's really no saving this. Tier tried to move there, but it was through in a second. Just no time to react at all. As pure as they come, and it's been a terrific performance from Ukraine at half-time. No way back, you would think, for Ireland, but maybe plenty more entertainment from the twice Paralympic champions. 4-0 to Ukraine is the half-time score. Well, so much to admire about that Ukrainian team in the first half. 4 goals and might have had more against the admittedly young Ireland 7. But still, their mastery of the ball, their understanding of the positions to take up, and the quality of their finishing, sending a real statement to the rest of the teams in this Paralympic 7-a-side football competition that they are undoubtedly the big favourites for the gold medal and are clearly intent on taking it back. Champions in Athens in 2004 and then again in Beijing in 2008. Ukraine were also beaten in the finals in Sydney in 2000 and in London 4 years ago by Russia. And with their great rivals not allowed to compete here in Rio, the way seems open perhaps for Ukraine. Other teams will have undoubtedly a say about that. For the Irish in the second half, it may well be about to try to keep the score down. Tough old first half for Carl McKee and co. Antoniuk in the centre there, the captain, helped himself to 2 goals. Ryan Nolan had some bright spots for Ireland. Aaron Tier, the goalkeeper, had some tough moments to deal with. SYMASHKO, relatively few. No wonder DUTKO is smiling. At times he looked almost apologetic, Antoniuk, in that first half when the goals were flying in. Let's see how much of a challenge Ireland can provide in this second half an hour. So no changes at half-time. Can Ireland change the momentum of this match? It was one-way traffic for large parts of the first half. Ukraine got 4 goals. How many more will they find in this second half an hour? It was a joy to behold if you're a neutral, or indeed a Ukraine supporter. Pretty painful if you're a fan of the Irish team, I'm sure. Here's TRYSHEV. Players being urged to get out to him. Easier said than done. Move the ball so swiftly. Here's DUTKO. TRYSHEV. KRASYLNYKOV. Saw him score one terrific goal in the first half. ANTONIUK on a hat-trick. Just waiting for the pass into the centre. Well, KRASYLNYKOV lost his patience there and went for goal. It was a rather low percentage effort. And the first little defensive spell successfully accomplished by the Irish. Nolan being urged to disrupt, and he's done so. Here's MESSETT, and MESSETT again, and I'm not sure if he was looking for goal there, MESSETT. He may have been caught in 2 minds. And the pass to Nolan looked the better option. ROMANCHUK. MARKEY just stay with him for long enough. ANTONIUK. Well, if they can keep them to shooting from that kind of range throughout the second half, then Ireland will be satisfied. And they're loving the experience regardless. TRYSHEV just getting a toe in. But the buzzwords from an Irish perspective beforehand were about performance and attitude rather than result. So that will have been the test at half-time, I'm sure, from the coaching staff. Keep going. Keep trying to probe away. But Ukraine with this counter-attack, you can see they'll be dangerous. KRASYLNYKOV is streaking down the centre. Well, Antoniuk was the target in the end, and Karl McKee did well, backtracking quickly. Antoniuk was strong. MOLODTSOV. Now DUTKO. Well, they're getting marginally closer in this second half. That was the problem for Ireland in the first period, that they couldn't pass the way out of their own territory successfully. Ukraine kept winning it fairly high up the field and keeping the pressure on. Here's KRASYLNYKOV. MESSETT just got the message in time. It's a tough job for Nolan, trying to hold it up there on his own. DUTKO. Always looks as if he's going to thump it. Generally finds the pass. Here's Antoniuk. Setting up MOLODTSOV, yes! Another clean strike, this time from Dmytro MOLODTSOV. And that's 5. Not sure it was quite in the top corner, but there was enough force on it from MOLODTSOV, and it whizzed past Artem again. Well, we said they've been finding their range in this second half. Eventually they did get one underneath the crossbar. And it's now 5-0 to the silver medalists from London 4 years ago. Lovely turn by KRASYLNYKOV. In the end, Nolan certainly tripped him. Double change. Dillon Sheridan is the number 10, and he'll replace Ryan Nolan because they're both in the Class 8 category. And Cormac BIRT was the number 13 on the left-hand side of the two. Both about to make their Paralympic debut. KRASYLNYKOV. MOLODTSOV is right in front of the goalkeeper. Looking for scraps if it gets that far, but also disrupting the eye line of the Irish keeper. I think Nolan has perhaps been Ireland's best player, and Conor is also making way. On comes the 19-year-old Dillon Sheridan. Oh, it's gone right in. It's number 6 from KRASYLNYKOV. What a terrific free kick. Around the wall and beyond Artem. And it's 6-0. And that might be the best of the lot. Look at the curve on that. What a terrific goal. Tyr is simply not expecting that to curve back inside the post. Sheridan immediately for Ireland. And that's the first save that SYMASHKO's had to make. An instant impact from the substitute. But the Ukraine goals keep getting better and better. I wonder what they've got in store in the last 20 minutes or so. Dutko into MOLODTSOV. ANTONIUK. KRASYLNYKOV again. Again, ROMANCHUK is right in front of goal. Here he is, gets the ball so close in. Evans was able to clear, but there's nobody up near halfway for Ireland. Everybody pushed back into defensive roles. So here they come once more. ROMANCHUK again, just teeing it up for ANTONIUK. Didn't get it quite into the path of his captain. Into ROMANCHUK's feet once more. There's KRASYLNYKOV. Oh, he's done beautifully there, KRASYLNYKOV. And the pullback finds MOLODTSOV. And he couldn't find the target this time. Well, he's stronger on the right side, quite evidently, KRASYLNYKOV, but still able to go past the defender on the left. As for that free kick, well, yeah, he enjoyed it. He really has scored two beauties, KRASYLNYKOV, today. First was good enough, but second was a real pearler. Evans was well in. Quick feet of ANTONIUK. Back to TRYSHEV. Dutko is just waiting and mopping everything up. Just starting them playing again. ANTONIUK. Dutko, the space for KRASYLNYKOV on this near side. They're trying to show him down the line. And he's still got the pass away, and Dutko being urged to hit it. And now KRASYLNYKOV. He was looking for that hat-trick. "27 shots in 41 minutes. ROMANCHUK couldn't quite get round the back this time. And that will be a goal kick to Ireland, although ROMANCHUK doesn't think it should be. Well, the boys in green are being made to look a little green by the far more experienced Ukraine side today. But it should be a terrific learning experience for them. Tyr was given it back by McKee in a difficult situation. Looks like a Ukrainian double change. Yevhen ZINOVIEV is the number 3. MOLODTSOV, who's the other class 5 in the squad, is coming over. He knows that his number will come up. And Stanislav PODOLSKYI, the number 10, replacing the captain ANTONIUK. There's the confirmation, and MOLODTSOV will make way. Podolsky immediately onto the ball and immediately feels one right in the back from Gary MESSETT. And that's the hardest challenge we've seen in this match to this point. Perhaps a tiring MESSETT, just a little slower to the ball than the fresh man on. It's the closest we've come, I think, to a yellow card offence in this game. It's often been tough enough for Ireland to get close enough to make a tackle, to commit a foul. DUTKO spotting the run of TRYSHEV. Didn't quite hit through it in the way he might have done. Well, they looked a little cross when it was only 1-0 after 15 minutes, the Ukraine coaching staff, but not happier with the body language now. And why not? Romanchuk just waited for Podolsky to find his feet again. The last quarter of an hour of this game, and Ukraine have been terrific. 2 goals apiece for Antoniuk and KRASYLNYKOV, and they might be in the mood for more still. Ireland have kept going, but it's been really tough for them. The passing of Ukraine in particular, and some of the finishing, has been out of the very top drawer. They look a really fine side. Neatly done by MESSETT under pressure. Very composed. Here's MARKEY. Turn by Sheridan was a good one. Excellent first touch. There's plenty of support in the stands for the Irish team. We'd love to see them get on the score sheet. Haven't had many little periods of possession in the game like this at all. MESSETT was caught by TRYSHEV. Evans was ready to play the return. It was smartly done, but MESSETT was just caught as he tried to make his way back behind the Ukrainian defender at his 4th games. Sheridan's out in front of the goalkeeper. Oh, it's TRYSHEV right through the centre. And the first touch just escaped him. He got himself into a terrific position all of a sudden. KRASYLNYKOV wide to Podolsky. Now Dutko, he is always available for Ukraine. Always directing, always the last line. TRYSHEV with the ball in, ROMANCHUK. Evans did well just to keep him at bay. KRASYLNYKOV, you've got to stop him shooting with that right foot of his. Now TRYSHEV. Neat footwork, TRYSHEV. Karl McKee again threw himself in the way. Oh, KRASYLNYKOV just trying to catch the Irish defence off guard. Cormac BIRT had to spin round pretty swiftly. KRASYLNYKOV. Into Podolsky. Evans is staying strong. He's won a few challenges in the last couple of minutes. Trying to lead the way, the Irish captain. He's won the Ireland throw-in too. He's certainly keeping going. With applause from the team manager, Barry Ferguson. Guess you don't want to look too excited or too happy when your side is on the wrong end of a 6-0 scoreline, but there'll be some pride at the way that their team has kept at the task. Here's Evans for Ireland. What's a useful looking pass, and Sheridan decided to swivel and hit it first time, I think. And was just destabilised by the challenge. But Evans had seen the pass early and it was a good one. TRYSHEV's pass, layoff from KRASYLNYKOV, in by ROMANCHUK, layoff by Podolsky. Dutko, always there. In it goes to TRYSHEV. And then Dutko fouled his man. Just a little nudge in the back of Sheridan. There's the pass towards Sheridan. He just couldn't get the effort on goal with the left side. Here's Gary MESSETT. Podolsky, ROMANCHUK's gone on, here he is. Ooh, and a challenge from MARKEY very nearly resulted in an own goal. Last of Ukraine's 3 changes is going to take place in the ensuing minutes, with SHKVARLO waiting to come on. But meantime, ZINOVIEV, the substitute, who came close there, And it's Romanchuk who is going to come off. He's taken up positions that the Ireland defence have found very awkward to deal with all the way through. And he scored the opening goal of the game. Vitaliy Romanchuk, 30-year-old, with his first Paralympics. It's quite some debut. So the last 6 minutes or so here in Pool A, Ukraine moving to the top of the section, but how many more goals can they find? Here's SHKVARLO, just come on, looking to tee one up, and struggling to get bodies enough in the way. TRYSHEV's cross just missing the head of SHKVARLO. Well, they're finding it funny now, that's for sure. It's been a much more relaxed performance from Ukraine in the second half, not the intensity. They knew the job was done at half-time. Sheridan just penalised. He got close enough to think he had a chance of winning the ball. He was just coming from the wrong side. That was the trouble. TRYSHEV too strong for MESSETT. Well, they're still battling, Ireland. They are still going. And they knew it was going to be tough today. And it's the smiles from the Ukrainian bench. Very well, job done by them. Neat control by MESSETT. Cormac BIRT couldn't get to the pass. This is DUTKO. Now SHKVARLO. MARKEY working really hard to try and stop the ball getting into the penalty area. Players have the option of the conventional 11-a-side style throw-in or the one-handed underarm. KRASYLNYKOV, well picked out pass to SHKVARLO. And again, well done Joe is the cry from his fellow Irish defenders as MARKEY put his body in the line of fire again. SHKVARLO with the corner. Sheridan had a couple of decent moments since coming on, showed what he can do, and that was nice too. MESSETT. Look at the yellow shirts that Ireland have got to break through, though. For all that we pointed out there, seniority, Ukraine, they haven't wanted for energy either. Full-time athletes, and they are in terrific condition. Physically and technically, you'd have to say. It's going to take a terrific team to beat them at these games. Here's Sheridan. Can Ireland find themselves a consolation? Cormac BIRT was in space in the centre for a while, but Ireland throw in. think the crowd would give the Irish a rousing reception if they were to get on the score sheet at the end here. But the outcome has not been in doubt for some time now. Perhaps as early as the 16th minute when the second Ukraine goal went in. The third goal followed very quickly afterwards from Antoniuk. Artem KRASYLNYKOV has scored 2 terrific goals for Ukraine today. Here's Ivan Shkvarlo, wants to get on the score sheet himself. Podolsky is with him, the number 10. And here is KRASYLNYKOV. It was very nearly the hat-trick, it came off the post. There was a deflection on the shot as well. There he is, Artem KRASYLNYKOV, making the run into the centre. Podolsky just waiting, finding a good pass. Was on his weaker left side, KRASYLNYKOV. Still a little unfortunate not to make it 7. Is there a last goal to finish off Ireland? Well, ZINOVIEV set her into the side netting. Well, he might have gone back across the goal. It's been fun for the crowd, it's been fun for Ukraine. It's not been a great deal of fun for the Irish players, I'm sure. 2 minutes from the end of this, their first match in Pool A of this 7-a-side tournament. Four goals in the first half, 2 more in the second. Dillon Sheridan on the run. And he's going to get a corner for his troubles. Can Ireland find a goal? No. Only SYMASHKO's gloves, and only a Ukraine counter-attack. And there's real danger of a 7th goal here for Ukraine. Shkvarlo with a shooting chance, pulls it back for Podolsky, who can't take it in his stride. Well, they rather botched that, Ukraine, not that it really matters. Haven't been quite as deadly or as clinical in the second half, but the Irish team won't be too sorry about that. Here's TRYSHEV. Is there time to create one last Ukrainian chance? KRASYLNYKOV has got 2 terrific goals. He was looking to try and put the seal on it. There is no 7th goal, but 6 from Ireland's perspective is quite enough. Ukraine have been terrific in their opening game. A real marker from the 2004 and 2008 champions, who look intent on claiming back their Paralympic title. It's been tough on Gerard Glyn's Ireland today. They kept the score down somewhat in the second half. As it is, though, still a terrific Ukraine performance. 2 goals from their captain Antoniuk there. It's been a hard slog for the Irish backline, but Ukraine look as good as ever. They have beaten Ireland in Pool A by 6 goals to 0. And 6-0 without a goal in the last third of the game. So Ireland somewhat thankful that the scoreline wasn't added to. It may get slightly simpler if that's not the wrong word for Ireland. But Great Britain and Brazil are going to prove difficult opponents for them too. Look at that, 35 shots on goal, of which 9 were on target.